He's back again, standing there, not moving. That was the first voice note the subscriber sent me. No introduction, no explanation, just those words carried by a trembling breath that didn't sound like it came from someone easily frightened. He wrote his name a minute later. "Call me Mark. I'm 42. I run a small farm outside Willow Ridge." He said he'd been watching my content for a while, but never thought he'd actually need to reach out. Not until last week. Not until the man started appearing behind his shed. Mark described his property: a modest farmhouse, a couple of acres of open land, and a weather-beaten tool shed that stood behind his house since the 70s. He lived alone. No kids, no wife, just an old dog named Harper, who mostly slept all day and barked at foxes at night. He bought the farm because it was quiet, predictable, safe. Or at least it used to be. "Look, my land's open enough that if someone was out there, I'd see them long before they got close. There's nowhere to hide. No trees near the shed, nothing. But someone was there. Someone who shouldn't be." It started on a Tuesday night. Mark was closing up the barn when Harper froze, ears rigid, staring toward the tool shed. At first, Mark didn't see anything, just the silhouette of the shed under the pale moonlight. Then he noticed it, a shape, a person, tall, thin, leaning slightly forward like he was straining to listen. Whoever it was, he was just standing there. Didn't move when I called out, didn't flinch when Harper barked. Mark shined his flashlight. The beam reached the shed. The figure did not turn, did not react, did not speak. It simply dissolved into the dark when the light hit it, like fog. He told himself it was a trick of the light, a shadow, a tired mind, anything but a person. But the next night, the figure returned. Mark was preparing dinner when he heard something outside. A slow, deliberate scraping sound, metal against wood, as if someone were dragging a shovel across the shed's outer wall. That sound, it's like he was carving his name into the boards. He stepped outside with a flashlight. The sound stopped immediately. No footsteps, no rustling, no movement, just stillness. When he reached the shed, he saw thin marks, fresh scratches, about a meter long. He hadn't heard them being made, but he felt their meaning. Someone was close enough to touch the shed. Mark called the sheriff the third night after the figure returned again, standing in the exact same place, not moving, as if posing. The deputies walked the entire property with flashlights. Nothing. No footprints, no disturbed soil, no signs of forced entry. Just an empty field and the cold night air. One deputy even joked, "Looks like your shadow's playing tricks on you, sir." The moment they left, Mark locked every door, every window, every latch. And that's when he found it. A note slipped beneath the back door. Barely a sentence. "I was inside your house while you were talking to them." 2 hours after the deputies left, Mark was sitting on his couch, trying not to think, when he heard a sound. A knock. Slow, calculated, coming from the shed. Not the door, the back wall of the shed. As if someone were standing inches from it, knocking their knuckles along the inside boards. Knock. Silence. Knock. He grabbed his shotgun and went outside. No footprints, no movement, no man. But the knocking continued from inside. Mark pulled the shed door open. Nothing. Just tools, dust, a rake leaning slightly to the side. No person, no place to hide. But the knocking didn't stop. It just moved to the back of the house. With each night, Harper grew more anxious. The old dog refused to go outside after sunset. He'd stand at the door, staring into the darkness, trembling. He kept looking toward the shed. I swear his fur stood straight up. He whimpered. I've had this dog 10 years. He never whimpered. One night, around 3 a.m., Harper started growling like something was inches from the window. Mark grabbed his phone and recorded the sound. He sent it to me. A deep, almost wet breathing. Not human, not animal, something else. Then, whisper, "Let me in." The next morning, Mark found a second note inside the barn, placed neatly on the seat of his tractor. Barely audible whisper, the written line, "You didn't look behind you last night." He said his hands shook so badly he could barely read. 2 nights later, everything spiraled. Mark was locking the back door when he saw it. The silhouette, standing behind the shed, but this time, closer. Leaning forward, staring directly at the house. Mark froze. The figure lifted its hand, slowly, deliberately, and pointed at him. I swear those weren't fingers. They were too long, too thin. The arm bent wrong. The shed door slammed open on its own. The figure disappeared, then reappeared 5 feet closer. Mark ran inside, bolting the door. Something slammed against it. Then a voice. "You saw me. Now I can come closer." The house lights flickered. The hallway grew darker, as if something absorbed the shadows. Mark rushed toward the bedroom but felt a cold breath on his neck. Too close. Too real. Too human. He didn't turn around. He didn't need to. He could hear the voice. "I'm behind you." Everything went silent. Completely silent. Mark slammed into the bedroom, locked the door, and hid under the window, shaking until morning. By sunrise, the figure was gone. The shed door stood wide open. Harper refused to leave the bedroom. Mark called a friend to help him pack. He didn't sleep the entire night. "I'm leaving the farm. I'm selling it. I don't care how much I lose. I'm not staying here another night." He left the shed exactly as it was. But before he drove away, he walked out to the field one last time just to prove to himself he hadn't imagined everything. That's when he saw it. A final note nailed to the shed wall. "Thank you for facing me. Most people run." Below it, carved deep into the wood, "Next time you look behind you, I'll be closer." The last message. 5 hours after sending the final part of his story, Mark sent me one last voice note.